And now, the continuation of the narration of Panchatantra by Aparna Ramaswamy.
Good morning. Welcome. This is Panchatantra and I'm narrating it to the best of my ability. I'm Aparna Ramaswamy. We are starting off with the first tantram, the first book, which deals with the discord between friends. The frame story is, in the southern city of Mahilaropia, there lived a merchant whose name was Vardhamana. Now Vardhamana had accumulated a lot of money and he didn't have much else going on in his life. So he sits there wondering, now I have all of this money and all I'm doing is safeguarding it, acting like a gatekeeper. How about if I use some of the money and travel? So he decides to travel to Mathura. He takes a few trusted companions with him. He gets a couple of bulls to go along with him on the journey and he sets out towards Mathura. After a few days of travel, what happens is there's an accident. One of the bulls gets stuck in a patch of mud, breaks, injures its legs, and it's in complete pain. So Vardhamana decides to pause his travel and nurse the bull back into health. And he does that. In a few days, he makes a decision, the bull's not really going to make it. It's going to die. So he decides to continue on the travel, but leaves behind a couple of men and tells them, take care of the bull till the very end. And once the end comes, join me back in the travel. I'll be waiting for you. I'll travel a little slowly. So these two men, it's the middle of the forest. There's nobody there. It's the middle of nowhere, literally. So they nurse the bull for a few days and then they start getting scared. They start fearing for their safety and say, you know what, the bull's probably going to die anyway. There's not much we're going to do for it. So they abandon the bull and go up to Vardhamana and says, well, the bull's died. Vardhamana is, of course, sad and mourns the bulls, does, rites for the bulls, and he continues on with his journey. Now, the bull is the rest based on the rest of the stories that you're going to hear in this book one. We don't ever come back to Vardhamana. Now, this bull slowly recovers its health. It hobbles and it finds the river Yamuna, and on the banks of the river it's feeds in the grass and in time regains its complete health, but it's all alone in that forest area. There happens to be a lion king who lives in that forest, and one day this lion comes to the same river to drink some water, and while it's coming to the river it hears this loud bellowing of the bull. It doesn't see the bull, and he hears this loud noise and is completely startled. The lion doesn't know what to think. He's scared, he's concerned about not just his personal safety, but the safety of all the animals who are dependent on him. And he says maybe the forest has gotten infested with some strange creatures and maybe, it's time for us to move out of the forest. He's confused, he's troubled, he doesn't know what to do. So he just walks away from this river, just very troubled and preoccupied. Now there are a couple of jackals who are watching this lion do this. These two jackals are out of favor with the lion. The book doesn't quite go into the details, but in the past, the family of the jackals used to be a minister to the lion, and then something happened that they became out of favor. So these two jackals are watching this lion walking away, and one jackal tells the other, hey, listen, I wonder what's going on. The lion came there to drink some water, and then he's going away all troubled. I want to go find out what happened. So the other jackal says, well, haven't you learned to just mind your own business and not interfere in other people's business? Don't you know the story of the monkey and the wedge? So the jackal says, what is that story? Please tune in next time to hear the story of the monkey and the wedge. This is Aparna Ramaswamy narrating the Panchatantra.